Well, and so here again, your friendly local constitutional coup in California, and more good news. And this is probably across the board because it looks like with what Justice Clarence Thomas did, and he did not write the opinion, he wrote a concurrence in a case called Alexander versus South Carolina NAACP, and he totally trashed Brown versus Board of Education, virtually on the 70th anniversary of the thing being ruled on by the Supreme Court anyway in 1954. And he knows, and if you can read between the lines, and I'm pretty damn good at doing that, he knows, and I think at least the conservatives, if not all nine of the justices, know the real problem. School integration ain't. What's the problem with that, you ask? The problem is you had to use the 14th fucking amendment. And that amendment is chock full of federal regional martial law rule that has put us all in a lot of trouble for the last 150 odd years because of it being used across the board, especially in education. Title IX, where the government has no business whatsoever, maybe not even in Washington, D.C., my former hometown. And I was schooled just outside there, by the way, so I wasn't stuck with that, and didn't learn a damn thing about what I'm talking about now. Education a lot better then because it was controlled at the county level like it should be now, and much better, but not with legal stuff. If I would have heard anything about Andrew Johnson back in the day, except that he got impeached, ain't my life would have been different 60 years ago. Better late than never. So that's the good news for all of us here. And I'm predicting that in the upcoming term, after the quote unquote election, they're going to go a lot further, especially with Title IX. It may not totally go out of existence next term, but it's on its deathbed and good riddance. Especially to you parents that have school children. I mean, you got to ask yourself, who the hell kids are they and why? Well, the government doesn't think they're yours. If you got a marriage license and you got a monetized birth certificate, they think they own you, they own the kids, they can do anything they damn well please. One of the best reasons I can think to get education back to the lower county level, where it can be adequately controlled and enforced, and get back to the 3 R's, get all this mindless book crap, transgender BS, abrosexual, ain't out of there, especially in elementary school and even junior high school. Kids have enough to deal with. And all these civil rights things, by the way, civil rights BS. And it all relies on federal, regional, martial law rule. Go away already. And my answer to the LGBTQ type nuts out there is you can be any damn thing you want to be, but don't expect to get into my pocket to help you do it. You got the money to go in a hospital and change your sex, go for it. It has nothing to do with civil rights. So you can be who you want to be, but not at public expense. That's over and done with and should be. Wow, it's astounding. It really is. But that's what I'm looking for the next term. So we'll see how far they go with Title IX and other provisions of federal law, especially based on what I see in the Sarkozy case. And I am pretty good at reading between the lines, and I admit I do that. But what I know and can prove about the Constitution, laws, and history of the United States, I get a lot of leeway on that. And it helps you, it helps your family, it helps your posterity. Just like those racist framers wanted to do back in the day when they ordained and established this Constitution. Nothing hard about it. We want to get back to it. We could go from there, make changes, and do it right. Wow, it's so easy, it's almost mind boggling. But in any case, to get the government out of education altogether is the best thing we can do. The system they have now. Imagine how good these kids in school now are going to be on juries in the next 10 or 15 years. And a quickie before I go, by the way, about that, there are no qualified jurors today either, and there haven't been for well over 100 years. Because you go to their school system and you volunteer into their military law system, then that's all you get taught. It's all you know. And you get a kook like me that comes along and says, "Not so fast, sir." as I did in my South Carolina case, but I never saw a jury, which I would have loved to in some respects. The only problem is I won the damn felony case in the first 90 seconds of the arraignment. It was over. It never should have started. So that's the big deal. We need to get intelligent, educated people on the juries that will know and have enough education to resist these black robe bastards trying to get them to come back with a directed verdict of guilt. They have no business doing this. They're State Bar Association attorneys, unregistered foreign agents of the City of London, and they're not there to help you. Once in a great while, you get a rare one that strays off the farm, so to speak. But that's not what they do because they have an irreconcilable conflict of interest, with their monopoly on the practice of law. And that has to stop too. We'll be talking about that more in another video. But that said, send me an email, youwinthecourt@gmail.com. You'll learn more about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and you get some nice bonus documents with the first reply. You can read those and study. It'll help get you up to speed. And then you get complimentary phone consultations when you order my materials too, and that's a big help. So that said, remember to subscribe, tell your friends, like the videos, get the word out. The quicker we start taking effective action, not this BS civil rights crap, the quicker we get these bastards off our backs. Thank you.